Come unwrap some holiday magic this season in Denver, where the lights are brighter and the shopping is grander, where the season feels a whole lot more wonderful. Discover great hotels and more things to do at milehighholidays.com.
I always ask at the beginning of these, where are you at this moment?
Right now, I'm actually at the label. I'm here at the Hub Life ENT. So I'm literally in the studio.
Oh, cool. Neat. We see all kinds of neat things going on there. Yeah. So you're working on a pretty big project?
Yes, I'm not sure of the name of it yet. I'm stuck in between Penelope's Therapy or Personalities with the album name, but we have so many songs that we're coming out with. We've already came out with Honest. Now we have Week 10 that was just premiered. So now we have to start pushing that as well. So it's a lot of songs. It goes from R&B, Sweetheart to ballads. It's a good bit. Just trying to narrow down what will be on this project.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because when you're doing a full length album, you want to have quite a variety.
Yes.
You know, some slow, some fast, and mix it up.
Yes, and that's right.
You determine the track listing, or do you just leave that on the producer?
No, so we're all in it together. Blessedly, we all have opinions on what song should go first. The first couple of songs that we have out, I did not agree to it because I wanted to come out with the ballads. However, my PR team, as well as the producers, didn't want to come out with those first because they said those were the stronger songs. So I have input on the album, but as far as the order of the release, we don't have that yet.
Yeah, that's really how it works. It's, it's a team effort, and a lot of people think that like the artist like chooses what singles go out there, who does, it's like it's a whole team. You got A&R people and all that. Yes.
So they take a vote. Excuse me. We generally take a vote on what songs, and most of the time mine are like at the bottom because I was the only one who voted for that specific song, but everybody else agreed on like the same song, and I'm like, y'all talked about this before, but
you work this out yourselves here. Yeah, that's so cool. So Honest is the big single that's come out. How did that come about? What are the origins of that song?
In transparency,
a lot of fun.
So my significant other was cheating on me. I'm previously married, divorced. So
exactly not a fun thing to go through.
No, it is not. It's not. But previously divorced, and it was just like more so of channeling my what if side, like what if I could have gotten away with his murder? Because he was a serial cheater. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was like every month there was something going on, and I was like, I just want to get revenge some kind of way. But that song is actually my revenge, but elaborated. Because of course he's still alive and well.
He gave you a great song.
He really did. But yeah, that song was more so of me channeling into what if I could have done this? Could I have been honest about it? Could I have been as spiteful as I wanted to be by cutting the brakes? I wouldn't even know what brakes look like, but it just sounded great. So it flowed.
Yeah, it really does. I love this video too. So you're pretty much using your acting chops with that. The acting classes really helped with that.
Yes. I'm attached with Lent, and he's based in Georgia, but he also has a studio in Dallas, Texas. So in acting classes, so just trying to get started before, I guess kind of get a leg up on my competition by acting out through my music so that you'll see more of a theatrical side and, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that really helps. Having a director like John Pelham, that really does help when you're putting something like that together. Yeah, you got to have the videos. That's, and you're all over YouTube. How do we find you on YouTube?
On YouTube, I am Penelope with 3 E's at the end. Same thing with Instagram, 3 E's. All of my social sites are Penelope with EEE, ending in Penelope with 3 E's.
Yeah, I got to keep it unique. That's
literally, because there are a lot of Penelope. Like, I chose the name Penelope because I loved how it rang. But once I separated it and it was like Penelope, I was married to the pen. I love writing songs, short stories, anything like that. Like I've done blogs before as well. So it was more so like it could be embroidered into all of this stuff that I've done. So
really
yeah. And there are a lot of Penelope. So I had to make it 3 E's. So, none of them have 3 E's.
No, but that's very unique. So how did it come about how long have you had the name now?
So honestly, since I was a kid, I watched Criminal Minds a lot. Like I said,
right.
This was just, Penelope always rang with me. I didn't adopt the name officially until I signed up to this label, prior to me signing to this label, because I was an independent artist and I worked under my actual name. So I didn't want that attached to the newer projects that we're coming out with. So that's when I committed to Penelope, but I've been a fan since Criminal Minds, Penelope Garcia.
Oh, yeah. That's very interesting. So
very.
going back to when you were born in Baton Rouge, northern Louisiana, you sang in church. So I guess you just were discovered like, hey, I really like this. Did you think of it as a career very, very young, or that hit you later on?
Much later. When I was 5, my grandmother had me in the children's choir. I remember leading praise and worship songs on youth Sundays. I'm talking about 6, 7. We're in church all day long. So wow, exactly, it was exhausting. So as I got older, of course, what she instilled in me, it didn't leave. So I still was on the praise and worship team as an adult. I love my church. Just being consistent. But as far as it being a career, I never would have imagined being Penelope. It wasn't until, crazy enough, it wasn't until after my divorce, like I said, all of the creativity just sparked out of me and was well, let's see what this does.
I know it does. It brings out this creativity. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going through it. And, a lot of writing I would have done, that's what I've done. It's like, you workshop it through there but you found your creative side there.
Yes, it does help. It definitely inspired a lot. My daughter inspires a lot. She's 8. Well, yeah, she's 8 going on 9. She inspires a lot. She's very characteristic. So some of the songs she's inspired as well. We have a song that will be coming out later this year, Social Media is Fake. She inspired that song. It's a lot. Yeah, it's between the divorce and my daughter and literally just sparking something that I really didn't know. Like I've been writing since I was about 11. But again, I never imagined to actually sing it and, so on and so forth.
Were you starting to write lyrics when you were 11, or you were just doing like poems or stuff?
No, I did poems. It started as poems. I'm sorry, you're right. It started as poems. But then I got an acoustic guitar for my 11-year-old birthday and self-taught, played the guitar, and actually started writing songs about 12. I'm sorry, it wasn't that same year because I had to learn how to play the guitar first. But about 12 years old, that's when the lyrics came about. And I wrote a song called Stand and Deliver, which will be a much later song that I'll revamp and come out with. But yes.
Nice.
It was a rock song.
Dust that off and bring it back. Yeah.
Yes. You have to. I literally was 12 with that song, and I put my age in it. That's how I remember it. But my dad loved the song. My mom loved the song, and I just never recorded it.
Yeah. It's nice how that can come back. That's why you got to save everything.
Exactly. Have a
put
notebook
it in the cloud.
Handy dandy notebooks.
Yeah, you got. Oh, so you do old school, like take out the old.
Yes. Yes, I can't. The phone, it's too distracting because I've tried to write on my phone. I'm not a phone person because I'll get on my phone to do a note, but then I'll end up on Instagram, Facebook, Snap, and I'm like, yeah, this was so unproductive.
So that's so hard on your hands too. And you're doing a lot of this. I'm like, you get this carpal tunnel if you're just doing everything that way.
Ow, it does hurt. It does hurt. Like this part of my hand hurts all the time. But yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's where you got to get them insured. So you learned to play instruments, guitar. Did you teach yourself just by playing by ear?
Yes. We YouTube wasn't as popular as it is nowadays. So I just watched videos where kids play guitars or things like that. And learning the different strings to see what sound I wanted because it wasn't tuned when I got it. So I had to learn how to tune it. It took me like I said, it took me a year to get my life together with the guitar, but I knew I wanted it because I liked how it sounds on other people's songs. So I was like, oh, well, I just want to see how it sounds if I sing.
Well, that is so cool. Yeah, that's the thing about YouTube. My gosh, you could learn everything there. It's
Now
just,
you can, heart surgeon.
oh my gosh. That wouldn't surprise me if somebody said, yeah, I was very successful doing surgery and I grew up watching YouTube videos. That's so true.
These kids are advanced.
Wow. So now you went to middle school and your bio says you ran track, you were a cheerleader. So, but a very, very tough time. And it is for everybody. And your daughter's going to go into middle school soon too.
I know.
It's gotten so much worse. And every generation says that, but what you struggled through was really tough. And it is hard to make friends in middle school and high school.
Yes. Very introverted. I was always the quiet one, but I would talk if you talk to me kind of thing. And my siblings were the opposite. They're very conversational. They walked in any room and just started a conversation, and they were more known than I was. So once they found out that I was the sibling of the popular kids, they were like, but you're so different. You're just different. But it was difficult for me to talk. I guess it was difficult for me to even transition into the comfortability to talk to people. But yeah, it was a lot of emotion then. Moving to a whole new state, even though it was for 3 years, it still was just like 3 years of being by yourself,
Yeah, very, very tough. And it would happen anywhere. So where you moved was Stockbridge. I'm in the Atlanta metro area as well. I'm on the other side of the metro.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in Peachtree Corners, which is near Norcross.
Okay, so you're not too far away from Lance. I forgot his last name, Carmelio's studios. He's actually in the Atlanta area as well. I think his address, anyway, he's around the area as well. You just said some things that made me think about it. But yes, we were in Stockbridge. Those schools were attached to 9th grade. Our middle schools were attached to 9th grade. So it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, God, it's a whole different world down there. If anybody is not familiar with the Atlanta metro, it's huge. I mean, it's basically like you're in another. I don't even know if I've been to Stockbridge. We're the same metro area. Yeah, it's like maybe the closest was the airport. It's like it's so far and the traffic's terrible. It's not like I'm gonna.
Oh my goodness! Yes, you're right. I couldn't drive in the traffic. I see it all the time from my friends on Instagram and stuff who are driving it. And I'm like, God bless you, because no, I would find remote work somewhere.
Exactly. I love working remotely. I've embraced this. It's like, thank for the pandemic. Oh, it was the silver lining of the pandemic. That's for sure.
Oh, that's good. So that's when you started to work remotely?
Yeah, I didn't work remotely until the pandemic came around. I do television productions, so it's it's amazing. It's like suddenly we could do this remotely. It's like, why didn't they tell us about this?
They didn't want you to know all the secrets.
Yeah, it's so nice, but yeah.
Really wear what I want, eat when I'm ready, don't have to spend money all day.
Oh, it's fantastic, especially with gas prices as crazy as they are.
Goodness, it's $5 here.
Nice.
It's
just
$5.
Crazy. And it's the whole thing. It's like I can't afford an electric car. Actually, there aren't not that many cars to buy now. So it's like
nowadays, exactly. If you didn't buy a Tesla 2 years ago, you're just figure it out.
You can't win. It's crazy. I know there's a song in that, but you're probably not political. But I've seen some your music videos where you are honoring some people. Music video, I think it's called Legacy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
that was really nicely edited because I do video editing and producing and stuff like
oh
that. So I always
yes.
appreciate that.
Yes, that was inspired by actually Al Tariq. That's his song. It was inspired by him. He wanted to speak about those people who he lost.
Mm.
Oddly enough, he had lost like two friends, and then he had lost his brother after we recorded the song. So it was just like a, like a, now it's a memoir to him as well, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yes, I honored more so. I I love Whitney. Um,
Yeah. Oh gosh.
she is, oh
Mm.
my goodness, she was phenomenal. I listened to her music like she came out with it last week because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does not get old. It does not get old. She inspires a lot of my vocals in some of the songs that you'll hear as well. And honest, there were a couple of Toni Braxton's because again, I look up to Toni as well. The low tone, tenor tone, that
Mm.
was inspired by Toni, but in the video, I did honor Whitney, as well as DMX, because that was another
Oh,
little
bunch.
that was,
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved his music,
It's so
especially in
surreal.
the
It
gym.
really is. Mm.
It was so surreal. It was so, yeah. So yeah, that video we honored a lot of people. But those were my stand-ups, as well as my uncle who had passed away, my grandpa, of course. Um, but yes, those are my
Mm.
memoirs to my legacies.
Incredibly artistic, talented people who've come up through the years, and it's just so bizarre. I mean, even Aretha Franklin, which I still can't accept. It's like because I grew up with a lot of these people, and especially Whitney Houston. It's like I remember her starting out, and it's just such a sad story. And God, the way that nobody could sing like that, it's
I
just
know.
a gift.
That's
Oh,
what I said. I was like, I don't think anyone can even follow up. So I'm just
no,
gonna say I look up to her because she was, yeah,
total
every
original. Yeah.
song.
Completely. I mean, I look at Mariah Carey, but she's Mariah Carey. That's not, Whitney's Whitney, and then Mariah Carey is Mariah Carey. These people are just you can't even put them on the same page. It's just
No, I can't either. Of course, she has the "We Belong Togethers" and "It's Hard to Say Goodbye." She has her great songs,
yeah, yeah.
but I can't listen to Mariah every day. But Whitney, I could be happy, I could be sad, and just put on Whitney, and she's gonna sing straight to my heart.
Mm, mm,
She's like
totally.
coffee.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I always look at a lot of performers as comfort food. They were just like so ingrained in your life. I mean, they're the soundtrack of your life. So
Yes,
so inspirational. Yeah. So your 2021 EP, Stages of Grief. How many songs are in that
that
release?
was actually five. Um,
Yeah.
yes. Well, again, the divorce. That was my stages of grief
Yeah.
coming along with accepting. Of course, we had anger. That was
Right. Right.
the most popular song on the album. But yes, started with the stages of grief. It was literally what it said. I went in the studio and just sang whatever I felt. Around that time, I was not too into writing. If I'm being transparent, most of those things I just went in the studio and I just sang because I felt it, and people loved it. But that was around that time, and I released it on my birthday so that I could release all of the negative energy that came with those stages of grief and just actually come to terms with it was over.
Mm, mm. And when did you sign with That Hub Life Entertainment?
That was December of last year, December of 2021. So yeah.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional grade supplies for every industry, even hard to find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere. This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
We met on a business trip. Oddly enough, I worked in nonprofit. I still work in nonprofit, but now, transitioning to Newark, they were like, "We love your music." They love Stages of Grief. Wanted to invest in who I was in that, and from that, it came a contract. And I was just like, you guys have done a lot, because we started to record prior to me signing, because it was like, I believe in you. This is good. This is great. And then, I signed. I didn't hesitate. Don, he is the CEO of the entertainment company that I'm signed with. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a singer, so he knows what I'm going through. He knows the obstacles I'm going to face. And again, he is where I want to be, Hall of Fame. So I was like, it sounds like you are where I want to be. So let's go.
Good to have those goals. Yeah, you got to have those in life.
Yes.
It's really good. So how much is your daughter aware of what you're doing? And is she starting to sing as well?
Yes. It's crazy. So I'm licensed in medicine. She said she wanted to be a doctor. She swore I was a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
So you started out like looking at getting into pre-med?
Yes. So I'm still studying neurology.
Cool.
Yes. So she always saw me in my scrubs and it's like, and I worked as a CMA at the time. And she was like, I want to be a doctor. And then I transitioned into nonprofit because it was more so of a need for our community in Baton Rouge, because things started to get out of hand with gun control and things like that. So I started working on the side with the nonprofits. And then she was like, Mama, now I want to, be a community helper. And now that she sees me singing in a nonprofit and still going to school, she's like, okay, I want to sing now. And she actually sung she made 3 of her own songs. It sounds really good. She has to clean, she's 8, so she has to clean up her songs. She does not write. She just sings what's in her little heart. And I let her do it because it's her therapy. She's very outstanding. She is. So when she goes to school, she's like, my mom's a singer and I sing now. And when she came out with her song, she was like, Mama, can you please email my teacher my song? And they loved it. I support her in whatever her little heart wants to do, because, it's a lot of influences going on nowadays. I just want her to know what she wants to do and kind of stick with it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to let them do what they want and not oppress them and make them go into something they're going to be miserable in it anyway. Gosh.
No, I step back. I'm like, hey, whatever you want to do. She went from I want to be a doctor now. I want to be and I let her go through her little phases. Whatever you say you want to do, we're going to do it. We're going to buy you some clothes. We're going to take pictures in it. And so on and so forth. And now she has a video coming up for one of the songs that she recorded. We haven't released a song yet. We're just trying to get things in order. So once the song does come out, she'll have a video to support it. More so of a hobby for her. But again, just trying to encourage her to do whatever she wants and figure it out.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. It's really important to help them develop and to find themselves that way when they're very, very young. But one word of caution, and you went through cheerleading as well. So cheerleading is, I would discourage cheerleading. I did that for my daughter. Here I was, I'm single dad. So it was a drain on the budget. She did this in high school, and then she got into competition cheer, which is a whole thing unto itself.
Now that is expensive. I told my daughter, I was like, babe, listen, we can find a community cheerleading squad, because in Baton Rouge, the school had cheerleaders. Now here in Jersey, the schools don't have cheerleading. So you either have a community-based cheerleading squad or competition. I was like, babe, the competition is not my price.
It is so pricey, and no matter where you sign up, then you do these competitions, all over the part of the country, at least
They
the eastern
do.
part. Oh my god, it's crazy.
But
Yeah.
yes, that will build her confidence. But I was just like, babe, we can find a community cheer squad that does the same. That doesn't have us traveling every month because
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I
And you
don't
may need to
know.
go on tour one day. Who knows what
Exactly. We're actually planning a tour, and she was like, "Hey, listen, I have to sing one of my songs." I was like, "If you want to sing in front of all those people, you go right on ahead. You can take up some of my time."
So performing live, do you have a lot of plans to do that, to really get out there on the road, and or
Yes.
just basically stay in certain cities, or just want to do the whole country, maybe the world one day?
Literally the world. Specifically right now we have plans out Newark, of course, Newark, New Jersey, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, of course, starting in Baton Rouge because that's where I'm from. That's where most of my people know me. But starting in Baton Rouge, but we haven't solidified anything in California, Washington, D.C., like anything like that. However, we have solidified about 5 cities,
Good.
and that's going to be in the fall. We
Mm.
start our tour in the fall. Some of the cities, Newark and Baton Rouge, we're starting those in the summer. So we'll have those actual premieres and being consistent in Newark because, again, this is where I live, but making subtle appears in Baton Rouge as well as Dallas.
Hmm. So what do you do for fun entertainment in Newark, New Jersey?
Honestly, I haven't found any. I go back home.
New Jersey gets a lot of jokes.
Really, I have yet to find it.
It's always like,
I can't find the food that I really, really like. I have been starved. When I initially moved here, I lost 20 pounds because the food was so gross. I was like, I want to go home. So it's like every other weekend I have a flight home just to eat, just to hang out.
Yeah, but Baton Rouge has that Cajun influence, so it's not as quite New Orleans, but yeah, I'm sure all throughout Louisiana, that's some good
New
eating.
Orleans is a neighbor. A 45-minute drive is like 10 minutes to us. It feels like 10 minutes. You just gotta travel with the right people. And you go to New Orleans, you're gonna eat, you're gonna drink, you're gonna sleep, you're gonna go on the little boats. You're gonna have as much fun as you want to have in New Orleans. The casinos. I just go for the food. I can't lie.
It is special. I mean, a lot of people are like, I don't like spice, but my God, I love spice, and I love all the Cajun treat, jambalaya. Oh my gosh,
You're making me hungry just talking about it. See?
Yeah.
And then so many people up here, they're like, "Oh, you're from Louisiana. I love Popeyes." I'm like, if only you knew. We hate Popeyes. We hate Popeyes in Louisiana. We don't like it.
Oh my gosh, no, not even close. Oh my gosh, once in a blue moon, I had to try that one sandwich out that one time. It was like everybody's raving about that. I'm like,
the spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, so no.
The lines to those places too. I was like, when it's out there, it was way out into the street. People are like going crazy over this thing.
They were. I was like, it was not that good. It's spicy ranch on chicken that Chick-fil-A could give you. Just ask for spicy ranch. If that's a sauce, I don't know. But
yeah, really. So you have a song called First Step. It sounds like kind of a victory kind of song. Was that kind of the intention there?
Yes, absolutely. So in a transparent moment, I wrote that song just so movies could pick it up. But it was more so to encourage and that actually was inspired by my daughter, oddly enough, because she came and she didn't want to talk to people here. She's me in a way, was afraid to make friends, afraid to talk to people, afraid for people to hear her sing, who she called her friends. So it was a lot of first steps that she had to retake. And I was kind of encouraging her, like, hey, there's a first time for a lot of everything. And talking with my mom, she recently opened up a food truck. She inspired that song as well. I let her know in the song even that some the people who you think will support you will not support you. That doesn't mean you quit. You just keep going.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends did not encourage me in my music. They did not invest in my music. A lot of my music fans came from complete strangers from different cities. It was just, yeah. So it inspired me to keep going, because if I reach a whole new level of people, that just showed me that the world was bigger than who I thought my world was about. And the intention behind it was really to get people to stop being so afraid. Don't live in fear, because fear stopped a lot of things from happening for a lot of us. But if we live in fear long enough, our life is going to go by, literally. And I don't want to waste my life. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, that's it. That's the quality of it. And, going through what you went through, you obviously, and it's not easy. It's finding the inspiration to do that.
Yes.
So you're very big into the mental health thing. Like,
Yes.
hey, you could really do this.
Yes, because depression's really, and I wish people understood that depression's really easy to go back into. The hard part is staying out of it. The hard part is continuously being present. Because again, when you accustomed to just being a muscle memory, the body, that's all it ever is. And that's why I try not to get familiar with my days. I try my best to not have the same repetitious job throughout the day.
And that's very good that you are, into the whole mental health thing. It's fantastic. So that's, very inspirational to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I think, I'm just grateful that I wasn't successful, oddly enough, right? Grateful that I wasn't successful in the attempts. That doesn't mean the thoughts don't come back. And the depression is not too far away. If I allowed it, it could, I could. But it's just moving forward. And that's all I really want people to take away from me, period. Move forward, especially stages of grief, even in acceptance. I just I'm Christian. Well, I'm sorry, I'm non-denominational. I'm a believer. How about that? So I just gave over my free will and not what I wanted to do. Because after the third attempt, I just was like, okay, this won't work. So now we have to sit in it, because I also realized what I was doing to my mom as well. It wasn't beneficial to her. It wasn't beneficial to me either, but she was my reason prior to Skylar, prior to my daughter.
It's really big. You got loved ones in your life and you have to think about them. And that's, you have to have that conscience that, if you're harming yourself, you're harming them. And it's so tough. And, it's good to speak out, especially now, post-pandemic years, and people have been really affected by that. We see such a issue with mental health going on these days.
Yes. And that's it's scary, but it should ring an alarm to let people know that everybody's dealing with, there's no such thing as normal. I don't know who came up with that word. I don't that's the worst word on earth.
There really is. There's no one size fits all. There's no normal. Everybody is their own unique individual. And it's very important to know that.
Legit. And my childhood wasn't that horrible. It just was, I could not identify what was wrong with me. And because there were so many normal people on the outside, right? Because again, we don't know what you're battling with, but because I was more so vulnerable and I accepted what I was feeling, I knew something was wrong. So I didn't like how I felt on the inside. And it was depression at 12, and that was when I started to write and all those types of things. But in my community specifically, we don't address mental health properly. So my mom didn't even know what was going on with me. Even after the first attempt, the doctors didn't say, well, this was a result of, having anxiety attacks at 13. And again, all of this stuff, I don't know what's going on. I I just know my body's not doing what everybody else's body is doing. I'm struggling breathing when I'm talking. I'm struggling to say a word to a teacher. I'm struggling to correct somebody. Social anxiety, all types of anxiety. And again, my siblings were very conversational, and now that we're older, do they have it? My sister has anxiety, and we opened up about it more so now that, I spoke about it, because who knows what we're going through. We're really good with putting on masks. I'm not. So I think that was my curse and blessing, that I'm not that great with hiding how I feel.
Your siblings older than you?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
That's hard because you're in their shadow. That's the thing about being the youngest. They think that you're getting all this attention just because you're the youngest, but you're in their shadow. So it's like, that's an act you got to follow. And it's hard to, carve out your own identity.
Exactly. Super, super hard. And I couldn't do it because again, I would shake trying to say hi to someone, I lied a lot as a child because I didn't want people to know who I really was, so it was like, if you find out who I really am, you're really not gonna like me then, so let me just pretend to be this person who everybody else is pretending to be, and that failed.
Yeah. So working on your new project, when do we expect to see the release come out?
Hopefully the end of the year. We have no projected specific date. I'm hoping November, early December though. That's what my hope would be. We have discussed a couple of dates, especially with what's going on right now in the summertime with week 10 just releasing. We want to give at least 3 songs and then we'll release the project. So my hope is November, early December.
Good. Very good. Very good. And as far as like getting these singles, how do we order those? They're all on your website.
They are on, yes. So I have a link tree. They're on Spotify, they're on Apple Music, they're on Pandora, they're on everywhere.
Oh, yeah. You got to be everywhere these days.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube as well, of course.
Excellent. So where do you see this is always the standard question. Where do you see yourself in 3-5 years? Having several albums behind under your belt, out there touring, doing this full time?
Yes. So my dream is to do this full time, and I have been doing it, so to speak, is full time. It's just right now we're trying to get the visuals for all of the songs that we're gonna actually have visuals for. In the next 3 to 5 years, I plan on being in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't take that long for me. It especially with a gift, because I don't own it. I love to tell people that it's a gift. I don't own it, so I have to get rewarded for it. So.
Nice. Excellent.
But yes, not stopping. I definitely won't stop.
Good.
My vision is to die empty. To have every single song that I was supposed to write or I need to write, or the feeling that I need to feel sitting in it, and putting it into words. So in 3 to 5 years, I plan on being at all of the award ceremonies, VMAs, billboards, everywhere, just grabbing my awards, saying, thank you so much. Thank you to my team. Thank you to this person. That's where I see myself.
Good. Yeah, you heard it here first. Hopefully that will all come true. And yes. Your notebook will be very invaluable. They'll have to auction it off one day.
Literally. I know. I keep them all in storage.
Be sure to do little drawings in there and stuff like that. That's
little hearts on certain pages. I love you.
It could be worth thousands, millions, maybe. That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time and for stopping by.
Have a good one. Thank you so much. This is great.
You too. Take care. Have a good one.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.